Anybody on there yet? Hey? Huh? Hey! Hey, I got this engine off Marketplace, and the guy couldn't get it to run right, so he just kept throwing parts at it. You know how you are. You know, I never do that, right? So anyways, he said he got tired of working on it, and so anyways, I need an engine for my. Actually, I seen it, and then my boy said that hey, there's an engine on there, but I don't think it's worth. I don't think it's worth anything. And then I looked at it and said, I think I can get it running better. And so, anyways, he put a new new rewind on it, and he's got another carburetor on it, which is I don't know, probably off Amazon. What do you think? Got it off of Amazon. I didn't look up to see what the parts are, but I figured that rewind's at least worth $25 for parts, and the carburetor's worth $25, so that just pretty much pays for what I paid for it. And then I looked at it and see he's got that plate out of there in between the two things. I think there's a plate between them. Here's a plate between. The plate's gone. Plastic plate's gone, and then there's a. It's to keep the heat from get to the carb from the engine. And then there's another plate that kind of holds the plug wire in. I don't know if you're familiar with what I'm talking about. So, anyways, that's gone. So I ran into this a long time ago with that fiber plate holds the carburetor back from it so the fuel mixture's right, I guess. Or the heat transfer from the engine doesn't heat up the carburetor. That's more like it. I think that fiber plate helps to keep the heat, all the heat from off this carburetor. So the carburetor doesn't tend to, the fuel doesn't tend to boil. You know, fuel doesn't work very good when it's boiling, it's being sprayed in, or you know what I'm saying, sucked in. If it's boiling, it doesn't like it. It doesn't like it. You know, same kind of thing they got with some of the older carbureted cars. People would put the new carburetor on, they leave that little plate out between them. I wonder why it just didn't run right. It's because the fuel is boiling from the engine heat. From the engine heat's going to the carburetor. The carburetor's going to get hot because it is. But when they have a fiber plate in between there, a fiber plate's made of not plastic, but it's made out of a whole bunch of competitions. So anyways, competitions. One of those words. And so anyways, it's only got two. It's actually got two holding the flywheel on, and so that's not good because you're going to yank the flywheel on, the rewind on. So that's just going to yank it this way because you're pulling from the front. So if I put one from corner to corner, it would probably be better. But I was looking for some more screws. I don't have much metric stuff. Keep talking about that about every video I got that I say is I don't have. Hello there. I don't have any assortment of metric bolts, and if the ones I do, they don't seem to get in the right bin. So yeah. So that's the story here, and I'm trying to find some screws, and you know. usually spend a lot of time running for trying to find stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I tend to lose people doing that. This little shield right here is keep the heat from getting on something. That's probably the screw I need right there. That's probably the one right there. Three will work. Three will work. I think. How many of you guys think I should get a? How many guys think I should get a lapel mic? A lapel mic. A mic so I can talk when I'm running around, so you guys just don't think I abandoned you. You know what I'm saying? I thought about them. But I just kind of haven't pulled the trigger because, yeah, that'll work. Mainly because those who watch will stay for a minute and go on to the next thing, and they're like, if I don't even care if they can hear me or not, they just want to see what I'm doing. Huh? That's what I'm thinking. So there's quite arrangement of them. Depends on how much you want to spend, and how much you want to pay, of course. All the important channels got them. I'm not important. That's why I haven't. What's up with that? That explains why. There's no screw in that one. Or that one. It's really short. Short one. Short. Yeah, so. Huh. That kind of wants to go, but you know it's not the right one. So I got two of them. Yeah, see, I don't like that. Bouncing back and forth. That's no good. You think that short one was down here and I just thought it would work? Probably. I was hoping it would work. Can't even get it back in there now. Just a shield anyways. This little shield, I guess, for yeah, just a little shield. I did have a bunch of screws over here, but over here, huh? I think somebody got into my screws. Looks like that. Yeah, that. Looks like it's a metric one. Most of these are 6-1. That's why I got a bunch of these screw 6-1s. And hey, there's a real small predator over here. Hey, I got a donor. I got a donor. In there. Yeah, I forgot about that one. That's a little small one. We were going to use it on something. That's small. It's really short. That looks more like a thing. You should always have these engines you're never going to use around, just in case. In case you get one. So somebody. There's that one. We might as well put the other one in, since it looks like to me there's one left. There we go. Now that was only a 79 cc. 79 cc's. There we go. All right, so we got them all hooked up. I got it clamped down to my bench where most everything's going to fall off. You guys are going to get blasted. I hope you're ready for it. Hope you're ready. That's why blow your eardrums out. Yeah. I don't even have a muffler to put on there. How you like that? Is that loud enough for you? Yeah. So it does run. That was my concern about when I went and picked it up. Yeah. And as most people would when they buy something on Marketplace, is it going to run and how long is it going to run and all that jazz. Remind me, I'm just cleaning off my bench because it'll all fall on the ground anyway, so I might as well put it in something. All right. So this has some sort of a clamp muffler on it. Yeah. And this tank is full of stuff. You can look down in there and see stuff in there. So the funny thing about that is I happen to have another one that actually came off my boys because he wanted a tank on the fenders. Tank on the fender. So, okay. Somewhere or other I thought these were. It's always fun when you get a hold of something that somebody's already had for you, because, you know, everything's not the right size and, you know, everything's fell off. And so one of them's 10 millimeter, and the other one is, guess what? 7/16. That's probably a 10. We'll slam that other carburetor on, try to get a fuel line on here, and see if it'll run. By itself. Then I gotta polish this turd and make it look like it's brand new from Menards. Save no horrible phrase. I'll get it right eventually. Oh, he just put on any kind of screw he could on this one. Yeah. That's supposed to be a 212. I don't know how you'd see a 212, but it's supposed to be a 212. Gasoline only. Gasoline only. This one's still got some juice in it. You know what's nice about it is, the guy that took this tank off the bike, he left the screws on it. How do you like that? Oh yeah. Not sure exactly where I'm going to get that plate from. For that is. I'm not sure exactly. There might be one on that donor one. The donor that we've already done from. That's probably where we get it from. That one has an option of a starter. It looks like a starter. This one, the fuel line's way down here. Yeah. It's way down underneath there. Oh, this will fit. Yeah. This will fit. It's just long enough. Now he drove this one. He drove this one with his carburetor on it, so I assume it's okay. This fuel line is pretty hard. I probably can put another one in it. Yeah, whoo, she a tough one. Let me see. I think it has some fuel line just around the behind you and around the door. Let me get some. I am sure glad my brain's working today, because I was going to use that old stuff. Old stuff that I put on that I took off the snowmobile engine. It started and haven't finished yet. Oh, I don't know about this. Yeah. This one is too big. It's too big. I think this is too big too. That's what the Three Bears said, right? That one's too big. Well, it looks like to me that the old stuff wins out for now. Maybe. Depends if I can get it up there. There's like a little filter in the tank. Little filter in the tank and such things as that. There we go. Hey, hey. That's gonna work. Good deal. Alright. I'm just gonna spend that 20 minutes doing all them things that those other guys do when they pick up an engine, check the compression, and put the oil down the cylinders, all that. All that wasted time. And I said, nah, there's that. Okay. Still going to have nothing for the exhaust. Don't have anything like that to quiet that guy down. But at least we'll know it's not going to start up and stall. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that I never did ask the gentleman exactly this is supposed to have a low shut off thing on it, and they clipped the wire. They clipped the wire. Yeah, they did. Clipped the wire off. Yeah. Hey, did you even check the oil? See if it had oil in it? I don't believe I did, but you know, that was, yeah, I did. I checked it just the other day when I got it, because I was thinking myself, I wonder if this guy even takes care of it at all, because it's covered with mud. And, well, let me tell you, it doesn't have a whole lot of oil in it. Doesn't have a whole lot of oil. So glad I didn't run it long, huh? Yep. I do have some oil here somewhere. I think somewhere. Oh, it's around the back with the other one. Did this little clean out thing here sometime back, and we ended up with a whole bunch of Spectrum SAE. Actually, it wasn't that much. I think it was like six or seven of them. 6 or 7 of them. I thought to myself, oh, that'll just be just hunky-dory to use in some of these lawnmowers projects got going on. I just can't find the little funnel yet. I'm sure it's where I left it at. It was like wide open throttles, wasn't it? It didn't sound like it. Most of it's running down, or the running down. Again, guess I'm gonna have to get a funnel because I'm covering most of the things underneath it with the oil. Yeah, I don't know where it went. It was here, a little tiny red funnel. And not there. Not there. Doesn't make too much sense to dump it on the ground, but you just unbolt the engine so at least I get majority of it in there. I just keep tilting it back to see how much I got, right? I have that option since the engine isn't bolted to the unit, right? Getting close. That was a quarter of a quart. Oil's cheap. This thing here looked like it went down mud roads. Alright, so that took all of what I had in that quart. What was left? Which was 5 cc's, looks like. If you know the cc, at least he's starting to stick now. They might have dumped the oil out because somebody was going to pick it up. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want the oil to be all over your car, kind of nonsense. You know, it would have been. It would have been all over my car. It didn't look like it was leaking. It just looked like to me it was. All right. These guys getting wore out. They're like getting wore out. Can't cut a piece of rubber hose. It was definitely the right size because I could hardly even get her down that. Is that a word? Hardly? She's I got her on a quarter, 1/8 of an inch. She won't leak, but geez, it'll beat. Okay. All right. Let's get some juice in her. See, this guy's like brand new in here. Brand new. Got a filter in it. Brand new to. All right. Got some fuel just around the corner. This funnel wouldn't have worked. Somebody's thinking like, hey, you know, you could have used that red funnel for that oil. No, a little on the big side. All right, let's see if we can get her. It's got this spill-proof nozzle on it. Spill-proof nozzle. I'm not gonna put a lot in there because no sense at $5 a gallon, especially when it's leaking down yonder. I wish somebody'd come out with a non-leaking nozzle. We already bought the yellow ones off Amazon, and them things are junk. Why do you say they're junk? Because I put some gasoline in my truck, because I was working on this truck that's a Dodge from you know where, and I left it out there in the front yard, and I went out and the nozzle was half chewed up, and find out the squirrel was chewing on it. And then I find out later that the plastic they use for the nozzles, the company is, they use food grade plastic. So the squirrels like the plastic. How'd you figure? Who would have figured that out? Let's use some food grade plastic for your gas tank funnels. Yeah, that's American way though. All right, I backed you up a little bit now this time. So you plug your ears because she's gonna be noisy again. All right, let's turn that choke on. One time. Don't know if it's getting gas yet down there. I assume the governor's working, but our governor doesn't work. My shop's on a corner, so I hear traffic going both ways. If somebody comes up to the corner and takes off and it doesn't run, well, guess what? I can hear it, you all can hear it. You all can hear it. Here we go again. Like I said, I don't have a primer bulb, and I don't think I don't have clear hose, so I can't see if it's getting gas yet. It can't be far off, right? You thinking? It does have a little settlement bowl on the bottom of the carburetor. Shut off valve. You can take that off and see if there's any fuel getting down there. Oh yeah, it's dripping. It's dripping. I don't know if you salt that or not. So the question being is, if I'm getting gas into the carburetor, I'm getting on this, and I'm getting it on the flow bowl, that means that this engine is not sucking it into. Alright, so we're getting it all the way down the flow bowl, and she's not pulling it into the carburetor. So, just like I said, this little plate that they put the gasket and the silicone is not letting it pull it in. And you can hear it. I tried to run there. Did you catch that one? Yeah. So if I make it choke, I choke it to pull it in, pull that fuel up, then it'll run. There's like, somebody might say like, hey, what What if by chance the valves are out of adjustment? Okay, so now if the valves are out of adjustment, wouldn't you think that it wouldn't run? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's why I still think it's this plate. This plate between the carburetor and there is has a vacuum leak, so it's not allowing. When I do this, it allows that fuel to be pulled in there. Mm-hmm. Just like I was thinking. I was thinking that as soon as I seen it. As soon as I seen her, I was thinking that. For, well, you know, for me, I got an engine for $50, but I told the gentleman that after I came back, I didn't want to tell him up front, because you can't tell him up front. Can't get a good deal if you tell him up front. But anyways, I said to him, I said, well, I'm going to put this up. They love silicone. They got silicone here, silicone on this metal guy between them. They're fans of silicone. They'll love it. It does work for whatever you need. Yeah, I can see the fuel now. I can see something in that hose right there. So I say that this guy is sucking air through the base gasket, or that little plate being in there that should be in there, should be there. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. I've already been wrong. This would be the second time I've been wrong in my life if this doesn't work. But silicone is a good thing, but sometimes it just don't work. But this doesn't fix all. It's not a fix all. Some people like to think it's a fix all though. But let's just put a lot of more of that black orange poop on there. Poop. That'll all be better. No. So I'm taking this tank off because it's full of fuel and it doesn't have a shut off over yonder. And so whatever fuel I put in there, I just soon put it back in the gas can. And now I got to figure out, there is some sort of thin gasket here. It's not the wide one. Just so you know, there's a wide one, and then there's a big one. Like three different ones. This guy here, I don't know. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yep, it's right there. I think that carburetor's smaller though. On the donor engine. The smaller donor engine, when you're taking them screws off. Okay. Well, just had some rubber gaskets, and it's down there in case I forget where it went. Should be leaking all kinds of gasoline now. Taking this guy off because I don't have any vice grips. No, well, I do have vice grips. I don't have little small guys, you know what I'm saying? Little needle nosers. Them did. They moved somewhere. I think they moved to a different country because I haven't found them in our hoard of stuff. Almost there. I'm going to show you the thicker gasket on the donor engine, just so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to lose some gas here a little bit. Yeah, not too much. Just a little. Hold her up in the air. Alright, so here's the little thin guy that's in here. That might have came with the carburetor. You know what I mean? It looks like to me there's enough silicone around. I just ripped that gasket. I just ripped that gasket trying to get it off there because they got a lot of it on there. They might have been. They might have. They put some orange, red stuff on first, and it's dried on there, and then they put some black stuff on because the black stuff didn't work. There's a steel gasket there. The steel part, I thought came out here. You know what I'm saying, on this side? Between the air filter housing and stuff. That's where that went. Yeah. That just looks like a standard carburetor off Amazon myself. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking that is. But I don't know what this blue thing is for, other than for looks, for a air filter or something. Yeah. Oh, so I was going to show you the the little what you call it, the fiber plate on this one. All right, so you may be able to see it. Let me zoom you in. Yeah, you might still not be able to see it. Oh, you're getting closer, but it's in. That's that black thing back there. See that? See that carburetor? See that black thing? It needs one of those wide things like that. Yeah. I can't tell you what to call it other than it's a fiber plate and it keeps the fuel from boiling, and it might work on this one, but there's no guarantee. I'd rather just get another one, the right one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyways, this is in case you just tuned in, this is a little 79cc. We're going to put it, I was going to put it on a small go-kart for somebody that's small that visits our house. But the problem is, I have no way of shutting it off, so they could be doing 100 miles an hour and run into something, you know what I'm saying? And then there's no seatbelt on it, no roll bar on it, and then they fly through the air like a trapeze, you know. This one was definitely on something because it looks new on the outside. But let me show you this air filter. Come on! Get off there! Plastic screws. I'm screwing and screwing and screwing, and it ain't gonna come off, and it ain't coming off. And then it finally comes off. There's lots of dirt in there. Lost one of the screws already. Yeah. Pretty good for me, though. I guess it ain't too dirty, but you know it's been rode on something that's filthy. So that's what we need. We definitely need that little spacer for that carburetor. And then we'll be getting it running again, huh? I think it'll run good. It'll suck that air in there so you can get it to run right, which is a plus. It's a plus, I think. Then I can bolt this thing back on after I clean all the silicone off it. And it might be just leaking right here. It might be leaking right there. Are you seeing it? See, that thing is like a idle circuit dealie. A dealie. And it runs down here, across here, down through there, and out the bottom. So if there was too much silicone in there, that can cause an issue. And all you need to do is put gaskets on it. No silicone. There's your idle screw, main idle, something or other. There's always, everybody has a name for them, whatever you want to call it. It's dripping. Let's put it that way. You know, fuel's expensive, so we don't want to pretend like we've got lots of money here. We don't. Well, there you go. Another short one today for you. I'll have to see if I can find a parts breakdown for one of these guys. We'll see if I can find the right fiber thing. See, the ones I've seen before, and on these Chinese knockoffs, came up like this, and the spark plug had a little tiny thing it went through and held it out of the way, and had a big thing to keep the heat from going between the things. So that's what I'm talking about. Now this one doesn't show that, other than the one that I'm talking about, the demonstrator one I was showing you. That one doesn't show it, but depending on the application, look it up, get your number upside of the engine if you can find it. Look it up on some reputable site and get the right one. And don't be in a hurry, because hurryiness, as you can tell right now out there, is rampant. Rampant. Everybody's in a hurry, and really, we're not going nowhere, guys. We're going nowhere. We're going nowhere as fast. And you still find yourself at the stop sign waiting. Anyways, I just found that screw there that I just dug off the ground in my mix, and I laid it up here. I'm gonna put it back in that thing where I'm thinking about it. Anyways, I'm gonna let you go. You probably already disconnected by now anyway, so I'm just trying to figure out what to do with it. I've got all kinds of stuff on this bench. This is some table saw bench. Yeah, we work wherever we can work, you know what I'm saying? And as long as we can stay outside, as long as I can, I'd stay outside. Yeah, I do. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna let you go because that screw's still in the housing. All right, thanks for watching. We'll give you another one. I don't think today, though.